Hello, I'm Joel Blackford with Beth Hesed Sabbath Fellowship. We're virtual only. We're based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. The phone number works if you'd like to contact us. We do the thought behind the thought, the philosophy of eschatology, what you need to know, your reality, our existence. We study Revelation. We try to solve a little piece each week. We're working on Revelation 17 and the Trump victory. I'm arguing that Trump will be the king first, and I'll show you the king verses, things like that. But then the beast system is coming after that. You know how Revelation plays out. But Trump is the speed bump in the meantime. Now, on Thursday night, I was on Prophecy Roundtable with Doug and Scott, and Maria Marola came on, and she said, Trump is the Antichrist. I heard it from God directly. Trump is not the Antichrist, okay? And so this is another man in the main section here, Nathan Leal, saying, Trump, woe to the earth, the little horn is here. So he's saying Trump is the Antichrist also. So that's from Watchman's Cry, and I don't agree with either one of them, and I rebuke both of them in the strongest sense of the term, because I have been a business owner and bought businesses and sold businesses, and I've been a politician, and politically and business-like, I am exactly like Trump in the position. So if Trump's the Antichrist, then I have to be an Antichrist. He's not. He's just a good businessman, and he's a good politician. So anyway, the main thing is we're going to go through some of the prophecies today. I'm saying that because Trump is coming against witches and globalists, that he is a good guy, okay? He is not the Antichrist. And there are some bad guys out there. Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld, those are bad people, okay? And the globalists in general, and the witches in general. Trump will be a speed bump. He will support Israel and he will get certain things accomplished. Then he'll be taken out of the way, unfortunately. That's just how I see it for 2025. So, what are we doing? We're talking about Trump being the king for a short period of time. We're trying to use the Bible, show you prophecy, and talk about the news. So, it's interesting with the election how there were 16 million extra votes in 2020, and now we went back to normal. And so Trump really won in 2020 also. And so that's very interesting. In this case, and really in all cases, it's been we want peace. We want prosperity. We don't want abortion. We want legal immigration. We want law and order. We want God to win, and we don't want to be godless. We're not garbage, and we're not Nazis. So why do you think he won? Well, those are the reasons. Think about it. Now, this is from DC Drano on the right-hand side. Think about this. If Trump had won in 2020, he would have had a Democratic House and Senate. More impeachments, no Senate confirmations, no bills passed, and possibly the end of MAGA as a movement, as an effective political force. That would have been insanity. Instead, God won. Now he has a mandate. He has the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, a popular vote mandate, and the entire country wants to clean up our elections, close our borders, deport illegals, hold corrupt politicians accountable. Sometimes I think it had to happen this way because God was involved the whole way. God chose Trump. That's why Trump's still alive. And then down below, Speaker Johnson said this: Republicans are poised to have a unified government in the White House, Senate, and House and get something accomplished. That's great. So, but there will be a fall. You know the globalists will win in the end. Trump will be a speed bump again. The eventual U.S. fall will be much worse. Trump victory will be short and sweet. The beast system is inevitable. According to my guys that I cite, prophets and pundits, there will be chaos from Marxists very soon. I'm dating it 11/11 through 11/13 of 2024. The U.S. will experience a civil war after Trump wins. You will know it's Satan's time because it's going to be short and he'll be angry. Trump will bless Israel in significant ways, and then he'll be gone. Bold Trump will be the initiator, the instigator. That's how I read it. That's how Trump has always been. He's always been in your face and gets things done. And Revelation 17, I'll show you the verses in a little bit here. Any president that can nuke the world is king of the world. Only the USA places their kings on the mountains. That's Mount Rushmore. That's from Revelation 17. The heads are on mountains. I'll show you the verses. Trump is the seventh. He's the speed bump again. The eighth will be the AC, and he'll come from this system, kind of the UN system. That's all, unfortunately, America, because the UN is the beast system, and it comes from New York City. So basically, where we're moving into, the prophecy of this is After 62 weeks, the Meshach will be cut off and have nothing. The people of the prince yet to come will destroy the city and the sanctuary, but his end will come with a flood. We're coming up to the floods right now. You're seeing these floods all across the earth. Next week's video should be on the floods and how they resemble birth pangs and then the breaking of the water. That's what the floods are like worldwide. I'll discuss that next week. Desolations are decreed until the war is over. He will make a strong covenant with leaders for 1 week of years. That's Daniel 9:26 through 27. Luke 25 or 21:24 through 25 discusses the same flood that's coming. So Trump's going to end the war. You know he will. He'll restart the house of prayer at Zion because that's what God wants done. Elon will, his nickname is El Elyon. He will build the beast tech. That's a Baphomet on Elon there. He's not your friend. He's very messianic. When you create devices that will implant in the brain and allow people to have sight, that's Isaiah 42. That is messianic, okay? So Elon will be part of the problem too because he'll corrupt Trump a little bit. Elon's not a good man. And he's getting, we'll call it beast tech, okay? So he's getting it from another source. Trump, Jared, Ivanka, and MBS, they're all buddies, okay? And so the peace deal can happen as soon as Mohammed bin Salman's dad or uncle, I think it's uncle, dies. And so we are not losing. We're winning with MBS and the Abraham Accords. We'll have something like peace. Trump has worked to diminish the influence of NATO, reportedly banning or planning to withdraw from NATO in his second term. That's anti-beast. That's anti-Christ. I mean, the NATO is anti-Christ, and Trump is coming against them. So once again, he's doing the right thing. On the right-hand side, Trump is friendly with Putin, and Putin understands a strong man and a good negotiator. So why didn't Putin invade under Trump? Well, because it wasn't personal, and Putin wouldn't have done that to Trump. And he knows that Trump is tough. So this is from 3/2 of 2022. It's just interesting. And the other one was from NBC News, but that's Politico talking about it. So it's just interesting that Trump is that powerful, and he will be powerful. He will accomplish things. The world is hoping that Trump will come back and bring peace. You'll have peace for a period of time, then war, and it'll be much worse. But England's message to America is, please bring back Trump. Please, for peace. Because they know weak politicians give you war. Okay, just like Chamberlain in 1938, Neville Chamberlain from Britain, who thought he could negotiate with Hitler, and what an idiot. Okay, so Trump is anointed to start the red heifer sacrifices, restart the holy, and to do things to bless Israel because God wants those things accomplished. And he will be against the globalists, like the false prophet. Now, there are many good Catholics out there, but this false prophet, even the Catholics, well, the next slide, you'll see it, are against the globalist nature of Pope Francis. Okay, they're globalists. They're Babylon. Okay, Gog is the guy on the right-hand side, number 44. He represents the UN, and they're both against Trump, and they're both against Christ. Okay, so this is Vigano. I love the man. There are many good Catholics like this man. So Archbishop Vigano, who the Pope just threw out and excommunicated, he says Trump's victory is a formidable setback for the New World Order. This is from LifeSite News, and it's just in the last couple of days here. So basically, marks a formidable setback for the criminal plan of the New World Order. I express my warmest congratulations to President Trump. I call him King Trump. And I thank our Lord for having prevented the United States and the Western world from definitely falling into the tentacles of the deep state and globalist tyranny. Isn't that wonderful? God bless the Catholics too. So globalism is rising, authoritarianism, the demise of civil liberties, the World Economic Forum, which is showing you in the clips right there, they're coming against Trump and Klaus Schwab and people like that. Trump is a pro-Christ, and these other people, the globalists, are anti-Christ, okay? So Trump is against them. I believe God chose Trump to be bold, to initiate, to instigate, to force globalists into a confrontation that unfortunately Trump will lose eventually. Okay, because you know per Revelation 13:7 through 10 that it's going to be horrific at some point in time. The Satan and the globalists want the fight. It's their time to recreate evil. They know their time is short, and they know they have that opportunity. They will have exousia in the Greek, which is that limited authority to be able to go and create havoc. It's our job to prepare for imminent spiritual warfare. It's coming, people. My expected date for the American Civil War to begin is Cheshvan 10, which would be November 13th of 2024. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's what the Olympics telegraphed, okay? This is from Axios. Tectonic shift in power, how MAGA pastors boost Trump's campaign. So once again, Trump is a little bit corrupted with his buddy Elon Musk, El Elyon, and also with the MAGA people. Oh, these reawakened people, Christian nationalist movement, things like that. It's a tectonic shift in power, according to Matt Taylor. These charismatic evangelicals, their ties, their tentacles into Trump. Unfortunately, just get used to it. That's the problem when you have to run for office. You make friends that you probably shouldn't have. On the bottom here, you have all these pastors who would have been laughed out of the room 20 years ago, and they're driving the dynamics. So unfortunately, the new apostolic reformation is going to creep its ugly little serpentine head in. They will fall too, but they're going to latch on to Trump because they want the power. They're going to abuse grace. They believe they have a mandate from God now to lead alongside Trump, and they want the power. They crave the power and the money. According to one MAGA, not MAGA, but what do you call them? NAR and Seven Mountain pastors. He prophesied the other day, this is the time of radical prosperity and evangelism. He pushed the radical prosperity. So just get used to that. Is God setting up for the false prophets to crash alongside Trump? Yes. Yes. So keep in mind, these guys, there's going to be a confrontation with the NAR and the Seven Mountains pastors. God's going to force this. They're going to come up with Trump, and they're going to crash when Trump finally crashes. And that's too bad. He's going to do well in the meantime. He's going to bless Israel, and God has anointed him. But at some point in time, globalism has to win out. You just know it. So once again, Seven Mountains, you'll see a fight, and this is Jeremiah 28, which is the fight between Jeremiah and Hananiah, which is grace, okay, Chen. And so they're going to be using this King Trump thing and thinking that they can gather more power and more money through him. It's grace abuse. And so they want to control economy, government, family, religion, media, education, arts, seven mountains of influence. They want money. They are pastoral pimps, okay? So they're part of Moloch. So Moloch is the bad one, Trump is the good one, the NAR and the Seven Mountains and the Jesus plus nothing people will glom onto Trump. Just get ready for it. And there's not much you can do to stop it. So you're not to let any of your children be sacrificed to Moloch, thereby profaning the name of your God. I am Adonai, Ani Adonai. So abortions are Moloch, witches are Moloch, globalists are Moloch, Kamala allies with Moloch. She may not be a witch, but her allies are witches serving Moloch. Yeah, the witches are part of this. This is a witch sacrifice in terms of handing your babies to Moloch. Trump may not be a saint, but he's cozy with Nar, Seven Mountains, and Jesus plus nothing. But we belong to the side that's against Moloch, so we have to fight against Moloch no matter what. And we're kind of stuck in with the Nar and the Seven Mountains and Jesus plus nothing people in the meantime. Trump is against Moloch and those types of people. So now let's do some prophecies from people that I trust. Let's start out with Wilkerson. The majority of churchgoers today soundly reject all prophetic warnings of a coming storm. Indeed, the American church today is the most blatant, feel-good church in all of history. That's probably 20 years ago, but very accurate. So what's next in prophecy? Dmitry Duduman prophesied that the revolution will start with the communists stirring up fighting. That means communists will be fighting against the current Trump government. That makes sense. Okay, and this is from my friend Don. That goes along with Wilkerson's prophecy too, because I find Dimitri's prophecies and Wilkerson's prophecies are always in perfect synchronization. Wilkerson prophesied the Antichrist must destroy the USA before the Antichrist ceases global power. Okay, so basically, Dmitry said that when the USA is destroyed, China will go against Russia, and Russia will be appointed world leaders. They will win, as Wilkerson prophesied. Europe will be their allies at that point, with the Antichrist obviously at the head. That means he'll be long gone, so we may not have more than possibly 2 to 3 years left to be in this world in terms of Trump leading and being whatever we are. Don is saying we have about 2 or 3 decent years. And he's probably right. That's about it, okay? And they're trying to arrest Trump before he's appointed president. That would spark the revolution immediately. So thank you, Don, for that insight about Duduman and Wilkerson. So once again, 7 Signs to the Fall of America by Dimitri Duduman. And I talk to his grandson, Michael Boldea, every now and then. Wonderful people, godly people. And when you see the pet spray there, they don't muddle. Dimitri and other great prophets, Wilkerson, Dimitri, and Michael Boldea, do not muddle their messages in cat urine. Okay, there's no cat urine in any of this. They give you the straight message from God, and they know when to leave it at that. In fact, when I asked Michael Boldea specific questions, he said, no, that's not been released yet. So you'll just have to be patient. So this is Dimitri saying, he said, remember this, Dimitri. The Russian spies have discovered where the nuclear warehouses are in America when the Americans will think that it is peace and safety, and Trump will cause that. From the middle of the country, some of these people will start fighting against Trump's government. I'm adding that Trump's in there. You can see it in its brackets. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the ocean, from Cuba, Nicaragua, Mexico, he told me 2 other countries, but I didn't remember what they were. They will bomb the nuclear warehouses. When they explode, America will burn. Okay, so Michael Boldea's grandson, wonderful man. Once again, no cat urine. He doesn't muddle his messages. He's very specific. Michael Boldea, in a radio address a couple of months ago, he believes the riots will start after the elections. I have no doubt the riots will start soon, and they will continue for a long time. A key cause, Wilkerson mentioned, will be food shortages, food inflation, and the emphasized race riots. Don, again, is quoting Michael Boldea, paraphrasing him. I'm not accurate in the statistics, but ballpark, almost 70% of Americans were white before Biden opened the borders. Refugees have been given preferential dollars in treatment, and both white and black are resenting the refugees getting all of these benefits, and they've been here for a short period of time. So Michael Boldea has a family. You can see the picture there. He has a strong message. The possibility that America can be saved is not on the table. It hasn't been for quite some time, for 30 years. Judgment is coming, so that the only variable left is to consider when. And he'd love to have 4 more years of watching his daughters play, but guess what? It could happen at any point in time. These things could get bad. Now, he's in a safe part of Wisconsin, but it's going to get bad. He knows this, and Michael's a great guy. So this is Rachel Baxter. She's been on our show before. America, the land of the free. No, that season has come to pass. You have taken my gift of freedom and spit in disgust. You have ravaged my children, abortion, and caused death of mind, body, and soul. You have done this, O children of Satan. You lost sight of who I created you to be, the true purpose of this nation. You turned away from me and have chosen the life of sin. And she's basing that on Galatians 5. So that's Rachel Baxter. And then a little bit more. You shall be the first of the great nations to fall. I disagree there. It's going to be Germany, then Japan, then us. But that's fine. You'll be ravaged, and you'll have killed your own babies day after day. Then there will be blood in the streets. So that's Rachel. Now, I've got pundits in addition to prophets. Those other 3 were prophets. This is Martin Armstrong. He's a pundit, but he's brilliant. He's got the Socrates program, and he's telling you it's going to be war. And he can't see Kamala winning. Trump's going to win in the landslide. He was giving Kamala numbers like 10.5% approval. Okay, so we're in a Ponzi scheme, according to Armstrong. They will take us to war. The globalists. The 2024 election will be the last election. The U.S. will break up into 3 or 4 sections. We're committing suicide. This is how governments die. Gold goes up when people lose confidence in the government. This is why the central banks want gold. They're afraid of governments defaulting on the debt in war. In the war, we will lose it next time. They want terrorism so they can lock us down. This is the future we face. That's Martin Armstrong. That's a pundit. Brilliant. Nenner says basically the same thing. Okay, from a bunker in Israel, American empire is over. Nenner is Jewish. Okay, he's living in the Netherlands in most cases, but now he's in Israel. 2024 election, I think the media is doing a great job. Trump's going to win. I really have no mercy for America anymore if they vote for Kamala. It's just the end of an empire already. Even if Trump wins, I don't think he can fix what needs to be fixed because the Biden government has just ruined everything. Moving down to the pink area there, I don't even know how to fix the United States anymore. According to the cycles of the United States, we're finished. The war will probably turn into a world war, and the problem is that the U.S., will have to fight Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, many nations, okay? And it'll be just horrible, hopeless. This is a representative from the East Coast. I'm blanking if it's Maryland or what, Jamie Raskin. And he's Jewish too, which is a silly thing for him to say. But he says it's a time of chaos and confusion. They're trying to ratchet up that, okay? They want that. So this is from the New Yorker on the right-hand side. The Americans prepping for a second civil war. Many now believe that the U.S. could descend into political violence. Some are joining survivalist communities, canning food and buying guns. That's November 4th, 2024. New Yorker magazine. Okay, this is going to be Tim Pool in the next 5 slides, I think. Okay, next civil war from the Independent magazine. Okay, never mind Trump losing the election. America's next civil war has already started, and this is how it will end. So that's interesting. That's from, once again, the Independent and Tim Pool. You can go to Civil War Already Started from Tim Pool and watch this video. It's very interesting. One more from Tim Pool. Quarter of the Americans fear civil war after election, Times poll shows. And this is from the Times, okay? And this is from the Washington Post. Your deepening cold civil war, okay? Once again, Tim Cast, and coming from the Washington Post. Then this is an article from Tim again, and it's from Wired. Online talk about civil war could inspire real-world violence. DHS warns cops. Okay, so they're expecting it. Then another Tim Pool, Washington Examiner. Fear of election violence, civil war surge. This is what's coming, people. I mean, it just is logical that this is going to come. Once again, it's coming from prophets and it's coming from pundits. And Tim Pool and these other sources are pundits. Okay, this is more of a pundit. This is the Burning Platform, Justin Smith. It's damned hard to be proud of America. After decades of witnessing America hasten into a dark nightmare of existence and an ever more uncertain, ill-prepared direction for the future of the country under fascist, Marxist, Maoist regime, our reasons to be proud of this country, they're non-existent, okay? So getting down to the pink again, America's domestic terrorists and their enemies from within as well as enemies from abroad, they're all trying to take us down. So the not-so-united United States of America, and whether or not they love this nation enough to ensure its continued success and survival throughout the 21st century as the greatest nation on earth. So according to Thomas Sowell, down in the lower left, when I see the worsening degeneracy of our politicians, our media, our educators, and intelligentsia, I can't help wondering if the day may yet come when the only thing we can hope to save this country is a military coup. That's Thomas Sowell. And he's a conservative like I am, okay? Economic conservative and a brilliant man. This is from Alt Market, which is basically the gold silver guys. Trump's return. Get ready for chaos to be unleashed and blamed on you. That's July 10th of 2024. Yeah. What happens when Biden walks away and the economic rigging disappears? Yeah, maybe civil war, maybe World War III. Fingers will point at Trump. Yeah, they know what's happening. They're going to pull the plugs on the economy. You know that's coming. And then civil war hits. So basically, Western civilization is based on honesty, and we don't have that anymore. And Trump can't fix that, okay? On the bottom here, letting conservatives gain a moment of power only to find they're sitting on the throne of a crumbling castle. Okay, so let's do the verses now. So we've done the prophets and the pundits, and now the verses of Revelation 17. I want you to notice that the 7 heads, and we have heads on Mount Rushmore, okay, are 7 kings. And so this is from Revelation 17 in the Hebrew. But the messenger said to me, because of what do you have amazement? I want to tell you the secret of the woman and the animal, the beast that she sits upon, because of what he has 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, so I'm arguing the 7 heads are Nixon, Ford, number 2 Carter, number 3 Reagan, number 4 Bush Sr. and Jr., number 5 Clinton, number 6 Biden, number 7 Trump. These are all kings. There's 7 heads. And then the 10 hordes are going to be Elon Musk and 9 other guys. They're big tech billionaires that are carrying her, okay? And so that's the angle that I'm going with this, okay? The beast coming up from Sheol, I'm saying that he will be a hybrid spirit with the Antichrist. And so I'm saying the beast that comes out of the abyss is a fallen angel spirit. He was, I saw him, was not now, came up from the abyss, but on its way to destruction, the people living on the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life since the founding of the world, will be astounded to see the beast, that hybrid creature that once was, now is not, but is to reappear, Revelation 17:8. Okay? Then once again, America is the only nation that engraves its heads on mountains. Okay, so this calls for a mind with wisdom. Oh, here's a word that needs insight and wisdom. I'm on the left-hand side. And understanding. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, which the woman sits upon, and these are 7 kings. And of them, 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the second is not yet. And when he comes, he must for a little time. That's Trump. And the animal which was, but is not, is the 8th. That's the beast. That's the Antichrist. And he is of the 7 and goes to Sheol. And the 10 horns which you saw are the 10 kings who have not yet received kingdom, but they will rule as kings. They have no lands. They're big tech with the animal, with the beast for a little time. And they have one plan, and they will give their power and might to the animal, and they will make war. In the word, the Greek on the right-hand side, it uses the word gnome, which is, and then, so it's computer programming. So these 10 horns, the big 10 horns, are going to cause us to have this interesting programming occur, and they have no lands, and so you can see it's like they're kings, but they're not really kings. But the 7 kings are 7 heads, which is Mount Rushmore. So I'm arguing that is the presidents, okay? And basically the United States has birthed all of this. So once again, Biden is number 6, number 7 is Trump, and the 8th will be the beast. And Trump will win in 2024, as I've been saying all along for months, but only stay a short time. He will be anointed. He will permit the red heifer offerings, restart the holy offerings on the Temple Mount. It'll be holy, and then he'll exit. The world will go nuts. So what time frame? I'm arguing that Heshvan seems to be November 13th of this year, and that, based on the Olympics with Marie Antoinette, seems to be what they're preaching to us. Evil will restart at that point in time, and it'll get worse. So this is from Michael Snyder. He's a friend of mine, and he publishes frequently. I can't remember. I didn't cite the exact blog that he put this in, but it's from November 7th. Social unrest has already started to erupt, and this is just the beginning. So he's citing New York University students are gathering in New York to protest the victory of Trump, and New York, your hands are red, 100,000 dead, hey, whatever, okay. And then also in Chicago, large protests. This sounds like Dudeman, and very loud protests outside Trump's hotel in Chicago. It's going to get worse. So thank you, Michael Snyder, for making my point. And keep in mind that as I was working on this presentation Thursday night and arguing against Maria Morolla, this came across my cell phone saying, Joel, be aware that the protests are already occurring, as you are saying that this would occur based on the prophecies. So what am I saying is going to happen going forward? Speed bump Trump will win in 2024. I've always been saying that. He did win. He will be the last election, but he'll be bold. America is the Revelation 17 whore, specifically New York City, for allowing the UN and the globalists to curse Israel. That's all they do. The list of U.S. presidents in Revelation 17 are the ones that overtly loved Israel, but covertly allowed the UN and globalists to curse Israel. You will also see a return of Gog Obama. He will start to return. Okay, Trump will take office in 2025. The communists will go nuts. Riots first, then human chaos will ensue, followed by cosmic environmental chaos. That's chapter 8 of Revelation. You'll see more cosmic things starting to occur in 2025. I'm thinking that the 6th seal, solar micronova, coinciding with a blood moon eclipse, could occur in 2025. It makes sense. It just seems to be that time. Which one of March 13th, 14th, or September 7th or 8th? I don't know, but one of those probably. It will be a wake-up call because it will be like an EMP and an ELE. Nations will crave World War III, but they'll need to rebuild their infrastructure first. After the whole system is shorted out by this ELE. That will delay World War III for 7 to 8 years. Pope Francis will take the lead first, while big tech will quietly build the image and the mark of the beast systems. The handoff will be at the midpoint. So where are we in all of this? We're in the birth pangs. We're not in the tribulation. We're not in the great tribulation. We're watching King Trump, the speed bump, take over, and he will block the globalists for a while, and he will bless God by blessing Israel. And then, other things will start happening. You work on you and your family. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, of a future year, you're going to get married. What garments will you wear? You can't be naked. It's a wedding. Get ready for it. Deal with it. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Wow, that was a lot of stuff to cover. Be blessed. So basically, I think I covered everything in the video. Take care. God bless. See you in the